Dear citizens of Tehani, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends of Tehani, I am Midli Bitai's Shokanai, the place where we stand, the Holy Land. We have gathered in one of the spiritual centers of the Hungarian world to give thanks for the complete renewal of the fatherhood of Bence of Tehani. Every Hungarian feels a sense of fulfillment and awe in his heart when he glances at the half island in the Balaton of the Thousand Faces and the two towers on which he stands. I have repeated what is common knowledge to people in Slovakia. Why did I travel to Moscow? That I have a moral obligation to thank the descendants of those who died during the liberation of Slovakia. I'd also said that we are ready to restore and protect memorials, cemeteries, Red Army soldiers on the territory of the Slovak Republic, and, of course, I was not at all reluctant to say that I reject the policy of the Iron Curtain, which is actually being created and exists between Europe and the Russian Federation, and that I want to extend a hand of cooperation beyond this Iron Curtain. Those relations between the Russian Federation and Slovakia are rather frozen because we are part of the EU and we are part of NATO, and we want to be serious partners in these organizations. And I stressed that at the meeting. Then came the subject of energy and war. On the subject of energy, I have repeated openly to the Russian media that I consider the European Commission's plan to stop all supplies of oil, gas, and nuclear fuel from Russia to be madness, and that it will significantly damage the European Union. And I mentioned the example of Slovak nuclear power plants, where if someone thinks that instead of Russian fuel, we will take some fuel from the America's Westinghouse and that it will work, they are extremely mistaken. I trust that, as far as the legislative acts on this proposal from the European Commission are concerned, they will be adopted unanimously. And here, I said publicly in Moscow that I will veto such decisions if they are not taken unanimously, but are taken by qualified majority. So it is certain that the big states will outvote us. Then there was a discussion about the war. I must say here that I had a four-way meeting with President Putin. Europe needs Russia and Russia needs Europe. We need to make a policy of cooperation, not a policy of hatred and ironclasts. We're getting on a plane in a little while, and since our friends in the European Union are our friends, and instead of a 2-hour flight, they treated us to a 6-hour flight, so we'll land in Bratislava sometime in the morning when it's practically daylight in Bratislava.